Hello! Welcome back to another 18th Century Scarlet Witch sewing vlog. This week we are focusing on drafting the waistcoat. So I've made two under petticoats, a petticoat, a pair of stays, and the undershirt for this costume. And now we are gonna be making the waistcoat, and I haven't really been able to find a waistcoat pattern for the kind of waistcoat that I want, but I haven't found what I want yet, and so I'm gonna draft the pattern myself, and I'm pretty terrified, mostly for the fact that, like, drafting historical costumes or historical inspired costumes is something that I don't do very often. I rely heavily on patterns because I just trust that they are accurate, and like if I want to make adjustments to them, then I will. But yeah. Also, if you missed last week's vlog, we had some water damage, and so we don't have like a downstairs that we can work in right now. So if you see a bald-haired bearded man walking around my studio as he just walks in, don't be like, that's my partner. We're sharing the same space right now, so he might be in shots. I'm not going to explain him in every shot. Just be prepared to see a Toby. So yeah, the goal for this week, I'm actually only vlogging 2 days, today and Sunday, and my goal is really to just pattern, make a mock-up, and then finalize that like pattern. So like as many mock-ups as I need to make. Luckily there's not that many pieces to a waistcoat, at least this kind of waistcoat, so I don't have to worry too much about like having, you know, 50 pieces that I have to redraft. I think it's gonna come down to like 4 or 5 pieces, so yay. So yeah, let's try to pattern some a 1740s waistcoat. Really glad I did this with pink and not white because you guys can actually see it. I think the first mock-up is pretty good. I have this overlapping by about 1 inch because of buttons and buttonholes. So this whole front is like overlapping by 1 inch. I did sew my darts or press my darts the opposite direction. Whoops, whatever. That's not important. Here in the front, I want this waistcoat. I mean, I guess if you think about seam allowances, it might fold open. I don't feel, I'm so weird, like this feels too flouncy. Like I feel like it needs to be tighter around this. Yeah, so I might need to rethink how I have this going here on the bottom, the peplum part. I definitely need to take these sides in, so I've already safety pinned the sides. I need to take them in probably like more than 1/2 inch more than what I have here, so this amount plus 1/2 inch. But the arms are good, so like I basically will taper it down. And then the back needs to be about 1 inch longer down here. Because where it ends now, it would fold up, and even though it's the back and it's going to get covered by a jacket, I still need it to kind of, what's the word? Like I still need it to at least meet this. So we're actually probably going to add 1.5 inches to this back piece. And then also it laces up perfectly, so I might need to take this back one in about 1/2 inch too, just so that everything fits a little bit more snug. Actually, that'll probably be just a 1/4 inch. There's just a lot of little fixes that I have to make. But overall, we're getting the shape that I wanted. I was so nervous about this front because when I was draping it on the body, like on the dress form, it was creating places like here and here for darts. And I was like, no, that's not what I want. But now that like I've done the dart here and then I've played with the placement here, I like it. And then also I should flip this up and show you. This is a little long and I kind of like that, like down here at the front. Like this is definitely gonna just this like waistcoat part before the peplum or the ruffle or flounce or whatever. This hits the bottom or the top of my petticoat, and so that's really, I like that. And I also do like the length of this peplum thing. I just don't like how it folds here, like it should lay more flat, so I kind of have to like rethink that. So I thought it would just be a simple circle, but it doesn't seem like it is. So, and then one of the references I'm using has it like no flounce at the back, so we're gonna keep that. Also, I'm really pleased with the placement in the shoulders. I was really afraid of that at first, but having it on, I'm really happy with it. And when I go to make it, they're actually gonna be pressed this way. I think this is a really good place for day one. So I think what I'll do on Sunday is I will take this, I will rip it apart, I will make the adjustments, put it on a new mock-up, and then sew that up. Sewing this up only took 30 minutes maybe. So like it'll probably go by pretty fast, and then we will reassess at that point. Alright y'all, I just wanted to show you real quick that I got something for this costume in the mail yesterday, and I waited for today to open it. So I'm gonna open it. That was anticlimactic. There we go. So I bought a few of these button making packets because I have actually never made my own buttons before. So I'm gonna actually be doing like covering all of the buttons for this myself, and I have a book on like how to embellish buttons. I'm not necessarily gonna add embroidery or sparkle or something to it, but I have the book and I have the sparkle and the embroidery, so I might play around with it. That might be something that I'll show in like next week's vlog when I'm making this, and then at night wanting to play around with my scrap silk. But I'm pretty excited. These should be 7/8 of an inch. Oh, I think each package comes with the instructions too. Good, because I don't know what I'm doing. That's an Eva ear flap, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. That's cool. I think I got 7/8 of an inch, but these look like a really good size. So, I'm excited! Y'all, I'm gonna make some buttons for this. Yeah, that's a good size. All right, well, that's it for today. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Woo! Sunday's party day. Sunday fun day. Happy Sunday. So today I am going to be taking apart the mock-up that I made on Friday, and I am going to well, first I have to mark it up. I still haven't like marked on it. I just have the safety pins where I want it, and then I'm gonna watch the fitting portion of the video that you probably just saw. I'm gonna watch that to remember what I said I wanted to change, and then I'm gonna try to make some adjustments. So I'm gonna make those adjustments and make a second mock-up, and then like basically go from there and see what that tells me. If those adjustments are great, then I'm gonna get it on paper so that I can, first of all, have the pattern if I ever want to make another waistcoat like this again. But second of all, it's easier for me to digitize patterns from paper than it is for me to do it from my fabric piece. So that's the plan. If the second iteration isn't as good as I'd like, I will revise and make a third. I have enough time to make 2 to 3 iterations today. So I'm hoping that by like the end of the day, I'll have enough information and iterations of this. I literally think the hardest part of this whole process is going to be getting in and out of my stays and like garments over and over and over again. But that's the plan for today. So let's head on over to the my cutting table, and I'll start like drawing the lines on and kind of show you what I want to change or how I plan to change it. So yay. Okay, so the major changes that I really want to make to this are, I put the safety pin here. This was perfect. So I'm actually gonna, let's make it to where you guys can see this. I'm gonna take and curve this in so that my seam line goes here. This is gonna kind of get cut smaller. I haven't figured out what I want to do with the flounce yet. I think I'm gonna look at the flat image here. I'll just show you. Okay, so this is the pattern I plan to use for the jacket. This right here is kind of what we're gonna go with. This is what I'm gonna try to use. I think I'm gonna try to look at this. I know that this pleats and I don't want that, but I'm still gonna try to like look at how this curves and maybe see if there's a way without a pleating that I can get one cut of fabric to do something like this. Right now it's kind of a circle. So maybe taking this and like making it spread out open like this and then like having the actual like doing something like this. Actually, that's not a bad idea. So that's probably what I will try to do is get this front pattern piece, just drafted up onto a new piece of fabric with the markings that I need to fix, and then follow this curved line of this front to help me make the flounce, and then kind of like tuck these, not like that, but like basically this will become my new bottom line versus all of this extra, because that's what was happening. Is it was cute. It looked like a peplum, but I don't exactly want a peplum. I don't really know what the word is. This says it's front skirt, so I guess it is considered a skirt. So that's where I'm at. And then for this back piece, I'm taking the back. It had a little gaping right up here, so we're gonna move this line a half an inch or a quarter inch on each, well, a quarter inch, and then it'll be a half an inch total once it's made up. And that should also allow for a little bit more gaping in this so that these actually do something. I know that I just used chibi ribbon. I'll figure out what I'm supposed to use probably tonight and then order it so it'll be here next week when I actually make this. In theory, if everything goes well today. So I'm in a Fitbit challenge with a couple of my friends, and they're over 10,000, and I am still only at 7,600 steps. I will not lose this challenge. I will get to sewing, I promise. Come on, Eva, let's go. Okay, so I think it looks pretty good. It's very, I should probably put pins like all the way up this front panel to kind of show how fitted it stays. But this right here, this side seam is, I think, perfect now. And I think I made these flounces better. Skirts, they call them skirts in the pattern. Like they don't, you know, they don't look like a circle skirt anymore. They lay flat, and I really, really like that. I want them to part at the front here. I think I have one image where they overlap, and then I have one image where they part, and I want them to part. This overlaps quite a bit. We've got about an inch. So I have to figure that out, because basically this will get folded on each side, and then there needs to be button and holes. So I think I could add a ½ inch to the front on each side and be in a good space. I like the placement of the sleeve, and when I pull my hair up, it still bubbles a little in the back, but so does my shirt. And like I said, I'm gonna have a jacket over it, so that bubble just does not bother me at all. I don't really know what else I could do besides take this in even more at the top. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it is a very interesting shape for, you know, a garment. I've never made anything like this before, but I think I'm ready to put it onto paper, and then next week we will, what's the word? There's an Eva hopping around if you can hear her. Hi! I don't think they can see you. You're too short. So I'm going to put this on paper, and then next week we'll actually get to start making it out of the real fabric. I'm hoping that with a little bit of interfacing, that it'll have a little bit more structure, because like right now basically it's just a piece of cotton. So I'm going to make the front out of silk taffeta and line it in silk taffeta, and then I'm going to use like a modern interfacing. It's my favorite interfacing that I use. It's called Dreamweave. And then the back is going to be made out of the handkerchief linen that this is made out of, and then it's going to be lined with it itself. I still have to figure out what I want to use for the actual ties, but I can do some research tonight and figure that out. I really like this. All right, so I have a pattern now for my waistcoat. I did keep this all on while I cut this out and stuff, because I needed to decide if I want to fix the hem of this, and I do, because I have issues walking in it. So like I'm going to do that. This is going to be a project to do this week, is I take this hem and I'm literally folding it over one full time. Decision is made. That was so easy. So basically that's it for this week, because I patterned and mocked up and fixed and mocked up again. I'm glad I didn't have to do a third mock-up, but I was prepared to if I needed it. And now I have a paper pattern for this waistcoat. So next week we're going to start the waistcoat. We're going to cut into our taffeta. I also did not factor in the trim on the front of the waistcoat that I wanted. I'm not sold that I'm going to be doing trim on this, but I think that that is something I will kind of decide and come across as we work on it and like make it with the actual fabric. The nice thing is, like, it's a little bit more work if I sew the trim on after, because I have to kind of try to sew it through the layers of fabric, but it is possible, and so that might be what has to happen. So yeah, or maybe I'll just kind of do it the way I want to do it and not worry about it. We'll see. But I'm excited. I'm excited to like start some of the red bits. I think that once I make like some of the red pieces, it'll start to become more recognizably the Scarlet Witch. So that's where we're at. This has been up on week, even though it was kind of a shorter one, because it was a little bit of an easier like garment mock-up situation. The next mock-up situation will not be this easy because it will be the jacket. Also, I am not sure if I'm going to document the process of making new stays or just make new stays, but I can tell by putting these on again today that they are just not fitting. Like the biggest thing with them is like I've lost 15 pounds. Woo! I don't run to lose weight. I'm running to train for a half marathon, but it is part of like what happens when I train. So because I've lost the weight, and especially in my boobs, this sits weird on me, and it always was too short in my opinion. So I'm gonna definitely make a new pair of stays. It might just be something I do and show pictures of, since I've already done a video on stays, but I might follow a different stays pattern. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to make a video on the new stays that I now have to make because I've lost weight. And just those of you that watch the vlogs, seriously, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. And especially a lot of you have been commenting, and like, it just makes me feel so good. So thank you so much. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you for your support, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the content over there. This pattern will be available in April, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, thank you all for your support. That was the biggest yawn ever. Not really. And I will see you guys in 1 week. So have a lovely week. Happy sewing. I hope all of your projects go super great this week. Have a good first week of spring. Yeah, I'm gonna be making it out of silk taffeta. The front in this is gonna be silk taffeta. I'm just gonna use modern